Okay, so we're going to start off with subtracting a rational expression with unlike denominators, but we're not going to make the denominators too terribly different. So if you notice, this denominator is a y, and this denominator is a negative y. So in this case, we're really thinking about the idea of making these denominators match, because that's the whole point behind the LCM of the denominators, which we call the LCD. We want to find a way to make these unlike denominators, these different denominators, look the same. So I really like the positive y denominator. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to ask myself, what can I multiply negative y by to make it look like a positive y? Is there even a possibility for me to do that? And the answer is yeah, you can. If you multiply this denominator by -1, then you're going to make it look like this denominator, which is positive y. But because we want to make equivalent expressions and not change the value, we have to multiply again by what we call a convenient one. So I'll have to multiply the top as well by that -1. So -1 divided by -1 is a +1. So I'm multiplying by +1. I'm not changing the value at all. I'm just changing its form slightly. So then this is going to look like 2 over y minus, so my new numerator is -6, and that new denominator over there is a positive y. So now we're just going back to subtracting rational expressions with the same denominator, which we like. So now I know the difference is going to have a denominator of y, and that numerator is going to be 2 minus a -6. And so that becomes 8 over y. If you got to check that in your calculator, you can. No big deal. Minus minus becomes a positive. So that one wasn't too terribly difficult, but it also didn't necessarily stretch our idea of including that LCD. We really didn't have to think about that necessarily on this one. We thought more in terms of how can I make this denominator match that one, which is what we use the LCD to help us get to. But sometimes it is as easy as just, changing the sign on one of those denominators to make it look like the other one. So just keep in mind that when we're subtracting rational expressions or adding them, what we really want before we go further is we want matching denominators. And if we don't have matching denominators, then we make them matching by multiplying by our convenient one. So next couple of videos are going to be definitely extensions of this idea and are going to be a little bit more intense. So get ready for that.